After saying goodbye to Angela Merkel, Bavarian Prime Minister Markus Söder fears great uncertainty in German foreign policy, especially with regard to relations with Russia, and he blames the Greens for this. And according to CSU boss, which is also, the foreign policy of the new federal government endangers the energy supply in Germany. The Green threat not to use Nord Stream 2 is damaging Germany in particular, said Bavaria's Prime Minister to the German press agency, with a view to the controversial gas pipeline from Russia to Germany through the Baltic Sea. And he said, because when gas prices rise sharply, Germany depends on a secure gas supply. In addition to EU partner countries, the Greens in the federal government, including Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock, have expressed skepticism about Nord Stream 2. And for Söder, this is a mistake. He says, "We are concerned that the departure from Angela Merkel will create a situation of uncertainty in German foreign policy. We fear a naive and uncertain green foreign policy. This is especially true in relation to Russia." Nord Stream 2 is supposed to bring gas from Russia to Germany, bypassing Ukraine. The Baltic Sea pipeline was completed weeks ago, but is not yet operational because of very high German bureaucracy. Russia expects an operating permit within the next 6 months. The US criticizes that Europe is making itself too dependent on Russia for its energy supply. But Söder said, "Of course, the challenge is great and concerns about an expansion of the conflict in Ukraine are justified. But it is not a solution to just threatening all the time. We mustn't talk ourselves into an escalation. We need fewer threats and more talks and diplomacy now." The approach of Chancellor Olaf Scholz from the Social Democrats for talks with Moscow is correct in his eyes. But you can tell that the traffic light speaks with two voices that weakens the European concern. Traffic light is what we call the current coalition now. Söder described the Green stance in the Ukraine conflict as completely inconsistent. Reducing arms exports and at the same time wanting to deliver weapons to Ukraine are just as incompatible as threatening Russia and questioning nuclear participation or the contribution of the Bundeswehr, that's our military. It's also inconsistent to discuss a military counterweight and at the same time cut back on the Bundeswehr, he says. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.